Yes, I will record this class, okay? And after finish, I will put in YouTube, okay, unlisted. Is that okay with you? So that whenever you need it again, so you can also check the video in YouTube, okay? So I think we have all the participants here. Let me see how many. Oh, we have 6 students here. Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I think we met last time, right? During Perwalian, is that correct? Yes. So my name is Karthik Nomo. So today I want to discuss about 3 things. Okay. First is introduction. So I want you to introduce yourself, and I will introduce myself in more detail. And then second, I will discuss about the course syllabus, okay, like the agreement of this semester, okay. And then third, we will go into the materials of this course. Okay. We will start the material of this course, okay. So hello everyone, welcome to Introduction to Logic. Okay. I will share about myself. Sharing. Okay. So can you see my slide? Give me feedback, please. No, I cannot hear you. Is there something wrong? Can you see my slide? Anyone?
I can see.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so yeah, this is me in 2002. Yeah. My name is Karthik Nomo. So I'm the first technomo in the world. Okay. So my father's love technology format. So it's come from technology, and Nomo is a Japanese. So he forgot to put his own family name. So then it's accidentally I'm the first technomo in the world. Right. So I make this autobiography with my father. So now we have 4 technomos in the world. So we are critically endangered species. So I was born in Surabaya in Indonesia. So I married with these 2 children. Yeah. I work mainly in Petra Christian University from 1989 until 98. I believe you were not born yet, correct? Yeah. So, and then this year I went out of Indonesia after 98, and this year I come back. So from this May, I started this again in Petra. So it's look like I'm as new as you, okay? So I also don't know many things about Petra right now. Anyway, so I taught in Saga University in Japan, also in Tohoku as assistant. And then I moved to Vienna in Austria to teach there. The name before was Astronaut Research, but now the name is changed to Austrian Institute of Technology, AIT. Okay. So in 2012, I moved to US. I teach in University of Wisconsin in Whitewater. And after that, yeah, moved back and forth in Ateneo de Manila and Ateneo de Davao. I'm a flying professor, for example. Saturday and Friday, I will go to Davao City, which is near Manado, and teach there for 1 or 2 days, and then come back to Manila. And yeah, this is my hobby. My hobby is learning. Okay, so I'm probably a very boring person, always learning and learning. Okay, so I do research, and research is my way of life. So I'm really doing research as long as my life. Okay, so I do exploration. I like reading. I like talking. I like writing. I do a lot of writing. So I have more than 100 papers, and I have probably 13 or 14 books. And I do a lot of programmings, and you can see my programs I distribute for free in GitHub, in SourceBook, and so on. And I do a lot of mathematics and statistics. So basically, I'm a nerd. Okay. So yes, I studied. This is a time travel back. Yeah? I studied in 1987 in civil engineering in Petra, and then after I finished in 92, so I start to teach. Before I finished, I already worked in Petra, 1989, and then after I finished, I start to teach also and work in Petra Muslim Research Center. Okay. And also work in part-time in the afternoon until night in the school and in the Kota Madya Surabaya. Okay, so practically I was a traffic engineer, probably the only traffic engineer. So I also published poem books, so you can check this in Google book. And then eventually I become the director of research center, and I opened a traffic laboratory in Petra, where I finished my master's study in Bangkok. And then I do a lot of consultation all over Indonesia at that time. And after I finished my doctoral study, okay, so I developed many software after that, and I taught in Japan. Okay. And yeah, this is my book. Again, in Google Books, you can check also. Yeah, written around 2002. And after that, I do a lot of research, basically more mathematics. So these are the algorithms. Some of the algorithms bear my name. So Technova-Fernandez algorithms I developed around 1999, 2010. And yes, I also consultant to many companies. Until now, I'm still the consultant to the Swiss company, Savannah Solution. I used to work in the World Bank, in the International Finance Corporation, and also work in Toyota, Infotech, Japan. So this is like the research arm of Toyota Motor. So yes, in the Philippines, just by luck. So in 2014, so they created this on publication. So then I was ranked as the top 150 scientists. My rank was 21. Okay. Anyway, so nationwide, I got a lot of free things during my study. So I got financial support and scholarships. Okay. And then these are my lectures. So I did not put the logic here yet. Anyway, so yeah, this varies. You can see I teach from operation research, artificial intelligence, data mining, software engineering, complex system, spreadsheet, GIS, pedestrian technology, computer programming, statistics, transportation, things, including. So this is my point to discuss with you is mainly about my research interest. So who knows, you want to do a research cooperation with me one day, I don't know. Okay. So you are still beginning, so it's better to tell this. So my research interest is mainly about people behavior, okay, concerning their activities in urban infrastructure for the development, planning, and design. So special focus, of course, spatial model, urban environment, mostly about traffic behavior, pedestrian behavior, mainly based on mathematical model. So this is my model on the bottom here, with all these integral and functions. So this is based on this model, I created what is called now as RCSO, Road Choice Organization. And I developed micropad SIMs in 1999 to 2002. You can download this in my website. And I also developed an urban growth model called Eden model. So this is an example. This is Iwaki Newton in Japan, okay, probably 1950. And on the right, on the left is my model using Eden model. So the model is just black and white here. The darker mean higher development. And after sometimes the photogrammetry, you can see city already developed more. So my model also created almost the same with real city growth. Okay. And eventually the city growth more, and the model can predict where the development of the city will be directed. So if you know this, of course, say you are property development, you can buy first those areas, no? Because we can compute all of these things. Right, so the model is stochastic urban server model. You can download in source code, including the source code. One of my work was highly cited. So this is in computer vision. Okay, so they name it after my name with my friend John Fernandez. So this is kind of algorithm to create a background from a video. So if you have a video, okay, and you put input into this algorithm, it will create a background of that video. And if you have the video minus the background, you get the foreground, which is the traffic itself. Yeah, so mainly for the traffic. And again, I really want to do solving the traffic congestion problem. So I do a lot of research, mostly on traffic engineering and planning, based on trajectory analysis. And 2012 to 2017, I got this project, quite big project. And this is like creating a Google map for Metro Manila. We track the hundreds of taxis in Metro Manila. During theory, I also developed some rule of thumb, and you can check in Wikipedia. And the latest one, this is, if you want to do research with me, probably we'll talk about this more, is based on Agile Flow Network. In the beginning, I just used this for transportation, but now we can use this for data science, also for artificial intelligence. Okay, so this is very interesting. Yeah, with Toyota, I do mainly about traffic accidents. Yeah, and see, these are some of my projects with several prominent clients. With the Brazilian project, so this is more about business, quality analysis and so on. So with US people, mostly about image processing. So this is like a microscopic, and then they put X-ray inside the microscope. Okay, and to check the metal alloy. So then they need to do a lot of image processing on it. So they need my help. So yeah, so this is what I did mostly. So I create homography and image calculator and so on. I also work in Blackstone Analytics. So this is what is that called? An analytic for company for stocks, yeah, market. So I created MDS, multi-dimensional system, and for stock exchange, and I developed stock testing for stock forecasting. And until now, I'm still here, saying Sabana Solution in Switzerland. So this is they use my work for developing the pedestrian simulation, and I'm one of the scientific officers out there. And you can see I'm the only Asian in this board. So with the World Bank and the IFC, my work mainly about port data. It's a big data project. And with Toyota, it's mainly about the accident. So we created multi-years analysis, and we created what's that called? Near miss. Yeah. So before the accident happened, so we detected using image processing so that the accident will not happen. Okay. So this is the identification of the location, multi-years. Yeah, after that, we can identify where is the actual location of the accidents based on the multi-years data. People are posting good and bad things about me in social media. That's okay. It's normal. And if you think that my work is useful for you, so you can I encourage you to post what you think about my work in social media as well. Okay. So this is one of the example. So I do consulting for this project. So first time the work was like 7 days to finish the algorithm. So I tweaked the algorithm using, of course, using mathematics. So, and eventually will work in milliseconds rather than 7 days. So this is one achievement that I'm proud of. Yeah, so yeah, this is my colleagues and others. Anyway, so let's be friends in Facebook if you want. So this is my Facebook page. It's not about me, so I'm more about you. I want to think how to make you as a great people. Okay, that's my goal. So I wish to be remembered as one of the many people that can change you into greatness. That's my wish list. So of course, as a Christian, I would like to be a salt and light wherever God has blessed me to be. And even if I can contribute very small things to change the world to be a better place, that would be my wish list as well. Okay, so what is the philosophy of life? So I'm thinking that we are what we model in our mind, you know. So, and I always think that I'm still learning. Okay, I'm still 17 years old. Maybe you're older than me. Okay, so if you want to be great, okay, greatness comes from what we generously contribute, not from what you have taken. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about you now. I want to know, tell me about yourself. Okay, so what is your background? What is your strength and weakness? What's your wish list? I always explain about my wish list and my life purpose. So what is your life principle that you hold? And I know this is a required course, but what motivates you actually taking this course, or what kind I motivate you to? What kind of things that will make you motivated to take this course? And what do you expect to learn from this course? Oh, okay. The last one, I don't think you need to answer that. But anyway, if you have, so you need to. Okay. Please tell me about you. Go. Who first? Your microphone still off, all of them. So please make it on so that I can hear you. Okay, Billy first. Billy, unmute.
Okay, sir. Okay. My background. Do you want me to talk about my family or?
Yeah, it's up to you. It is your time. Okay, we want to know you, right?
Okay.
So
I come from a lovely family who support me whatever I do. Okay,
that's
and
nice.
my strength. I always try to be a nice person and
Okay.
a nicer person every day.
Okay.
And my weakness, I'm kind of lazy
Oh,
sometimes. Most of the
okay.
time, actually. My wish list. Uh, One of it. I hope I will find a great job in the future and to be a successful person, of course.
Define what is successful.
I'm sorry, what?
Define what is successful.
Oh,
Oh.
financially, one of them, and being a great person,
Okay,
of course.
that's good.
What are my life principles? One of it is just do anything you want, but don't do something that hurt other people.
It's a golden rule. Huh?
What motivate me? I joined this program because I want to graduate and make money, and I want my English to be better. And
Okay.
what do I expect from learning this course?
This course is logic. This course is logic.
Oh, this logic.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually don't know what will we study from this course.
Oh no. Okay.
Okay.
But
Okay,
you,
I think that's all.
you cannot see the course syllabus or the RPS in OBE Petra.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you're supposed to see the course outline and so on in the system of Petra, so that you get
Okay.
course you take. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Do you have any programming experience? No.
No.
No. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Who's next? Come on. Anyone? Should I pick? Okay, I'll pick based on.
Me, sir.
Yeah.
My background is I have 3 sisters and I have lived apart with my mother and father since I was junior high school because I have to study in Surabaya.
Originally, where I come from?
I'm from Berau. My mother and father is working in Kalimantan. East Kalimantan.
Yeah.
About my strength, I think it's responsibility and working hard. Also, my weakness is careless and I'm easy to get panic. My wish list in life is I can travel around the world.
Okay.
My life purpose is being a person that can remembered as a kind person to others.
Okay.
Life principles. Maybe everything is hard, but hard is not impossible.
Okay.
What motivate to taking this program or course? I don't think so. Maybe what I expect from this program is I can increase my logical thinking.
Okay. Let's hope that. Okay.
I haven't have
Any
programming
program.
experience before.
Yes. Thank you, Felicia.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So who's next? Come on.
Me?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I'm
Kenneth.
from Surabaya.
Mm-hmm.
I have one older brother.
Okay.
My strength is I try to listen to others more, like opinion and etc. But my weakness is I always overthink something. I always overthink about something. My wish list is to have nice job and have a lot of money. And my life purpose is to be remembered as a kind person by others. My life principle is to think about something before you do it, but don't overthink it.
Okay.
What motivates you from taking this program?
This course.
This course. I don't know. A business. Because it has.
There is no business in logic.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. This is like required course that the government imposed to us. So
Is it about motivate taking logic classic test?
yeah, it's a logic. It's a kind of philosophy logic. So you will talk about argument. You will talk about proposition. Okay, we'll talk about Boolean algebra.
I do not know what
Okay.
motivate me.
Okay. Let's take it.
What do
Okay.
you,
Because it's
yes,
yes,
because
let's
it
take
has in the schedule and I take
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Okay. Thank you.
What do you expect to think more logically?
Ah,
And I
think
don't
logic.
have any I
Yeah,
have
no.
tried some programming, but I do not know
Okay.
if I can.
Fine, no problem. It's not required in this class to do programming, so don't worry. Next. Who's next? Come on.
Can I go?
Me.
Yes, go.
Oh, okay. Joycelyn can go first.
No, you can go first.
Okay.
Oh, it's okay. Okay, Tamara.
My background, I come from Bali, and I also have one older brother, which also studied in UKP, taking international business management.
Oh, okay.
And I think my strength is I am quite organized with whatever I do. But my weakness is also I get panic a lot if I miss some deadlines or anything like that. And my wish list in life is I can be successful and be happy with whatever I do in the future.
Again,
And
what is success in your definition?
to me, it's to be happy with whatever I do.
Okay.
And my life purpose is to make my parents proud and again be happy with whatever I do. And what are the life principles that I hold? I want to make sure that I'm honest and is responsible with whatever I do.
Yes. Okay.
And what motivated you to take this program or this logic course? Well, it's because it's part of the
it's a required course.
Yeah. And what do I expect? I expect to improve my critical thinking, problem solving
Yes.
skills, and understand programming better.
I do hope so. Yeah. Once you learn the logic, suddenly you will be more critical.
Yeah. And I haven't had any programming.
That's fine. Okay. And okay, Jocelyn.
My background is I came from Semarang and I don't have any siblings, so I'm the only child.
Oh, okay.
My strength is I'm a hardworking person and my weakness is I get bored easily and I'm a bit lazy person. My wish in my life is I can make my parents proud of me. And my life purpose is to be happy wherever I in whatever I do and wherever I've been. And the life principles that I hold is just do whatever you want, but be responsible with it. And what motivates me is, I don't know, this is a required course, right? And what's next? I don't. Did you stop the screen share?
Sorry.
And what to expect? I'm expecting to improve my logical thinking and problem solving skills.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, who's next?
Me.
Okay, go. Anthony.
No, Matthew. My background. My background. I come from a working family. My family loves to work, and I have two sisters, and a father and a mother. And your strength. I'm very ambitious, and I have a big ambitious as well, and my weakness is overwork. I tend to overwork sometimes, and it causes stress, anxiety, and others as well. And my wish list is I wish I can make something that no. I wish I can make something during the college, like a app or anything. And then after college, I wish to sold the thing that I created and use that money to create a bigger one, a bigger something. And maybe if I could enter to GT Plug and Play, it will be the best. And I also wish to be able to follow hackathon in USA and to win also. And my life purpose is to creating changes, whatever changes I like to create it, like a positive impact to the world. And my life
Go with it, Matthew. Yeah. Okay.
And my life principles is everything that's a journey of 1,000 miles always begins with a single step. And that is from Lao Tzu. I really love that. And my motivation to taking this program or course, of course, logic. I want to learn more about logic, and my expectation is to able to learn logic as well. I need to improve my logic. And do you have a programming experience? Yes, I have. And in what language? I have C language, Swift, PHP, HTML, CSS, and then Python. But Python is still a beginner. Have you ever developed any software? No.
Okay. C, Swift.
PHP, HTML, CSS, and Python just started.
Okay. How about JavaScript? No. No. Okay.
Not yet.
Super. Okay. So, Anthony.
Okay. My background. My background is I come from a good family, one sister and one brother. I'm from Surabaya. My strength is will to try something new and easy to make a friend. My weakness is lazy and emotional. My wish list in life, going to rich, married, have a good family, a happy family, and be able to help others. What if your life? My life purpose is to be better than yesterday.
That's good.
What motivate your taking this program course? Make me more confident. And what you expect to learn this program course? More congress in speak English, improve my English because my English not so good.
No.
Do you have programming experience? Yes, I have. I study in my high school, but not very good.
It's okay. What programming language?
But the names
Forgot. Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so let's stop this one. I will go to the next part. Yeah, thank you for your introduction. Okay, so next part is course syllabus. Okay, can you see it? My slide. Can you see my slide? Okay. Okay. So this is the beginner's class. Okay. Oh, here. So this is my class and consultation hour. So if you talk about this class things, if you want to email, so please put logic in your subject so that I know you're from this class. I have many classes, so I need to organize things. Okay, so this is my WhatsApp, so you can contact me. I think some of you have contacted me because I'm your person Wali, isn't it? Right? So this is my Facebook, so you can also contact me through Messenger. Okay. So the class is for every Tuesday, 2:30 to 4:30. Okay. If you contact me, so please expect maximum 24 hours of delay. So you can contact me anytime. So if you contact me 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I probably already sleep, so I will respond the following day. Okay. So what is this logic? Introduction to logic. So this course is introduction from the logic from the computational perspective. So it will show how to encode information in the form of logical sentence and how to reason, yeah, with the information in this form. Okay. So you will develop understanding about symbolic logic and deductive inductive logic and reasoning. Okay, so sounds like what is that? So don't worry about it. We will learn. We will define each of the word there. Okay. So upon finishing this class, okay, at the end of the semester, I hope you will be able to structure the sentence, the statement and argument using formal logical framework. I also hope that you can assess, okay, any formal argument for the validity, okay, using truth table and deductive methods, and you should be able to synthesizing some knowledge using symbolic logic. Yeah. So these are the course objective. Yeah. So what is the outline? So you will learn about this topic, yeah? Introduction to logic, fact and opinion, concept and assumption, generalization, fallacies, accuracy and sampling, proposition and argument. So I think the left side, I have put the material in Google Classroom. Right? So you can also read all the materials before the class, okay? And after the midterm, so we'll discuss about inductive, deductive, then this is more computation. Boleh aja, but we'll discuss next meeting, probably, or next meeting. Anyway, so, and then we will discuss also about propositional logic, quantifier, predicate logic. So this is more kind of mathematics. Nah? Okay, if the time permits, so I will discuss about flowchart, algorithms. Okay, but this is optional, so it's not really in the curriculum. Okay, so is there anything you want to add or you don't like? So I will remove. This is kind of agreement that we want to do within this semester. Everything is fine. Okay, thank you very much. So, so this is the book that I'm using to create all these things. So the first book is very nice. Also very, the first 3 books are very nice. Okay, so you can read all of this. Find the books somewhere. And I also created my own automated theorem prover. So you can check in my website in the reference. So basically logic, because they are in the form that is formal, with this mathematics, so we can create a program and yeah, improve other person's program to become nicer. So here is the breakdown of the course requirements. So midterm is 20%, final is 30%. The assignment is actually assignment is 25% with 5% recitation. Okay, and you will have project of 20%. So you look at this, the majority is in the finals and the assignment. Okay. Anyway, the midterm and assignments are what is that? Multiple choice. Yeah, and open book, open everything, so you don't need to worry. But of course, because it's open book, the questions are very hard. Okay, you need to do it very fast. Okay. If you don't study, you will surely fail. Anyway, you just need to read the slides and you study, you practice then you will know everything is fine. When we create the tools using Excel and so on, so you also create it so that during the exam you can open the tools that you have. Okay. So the quizzes and the assignment are designed to test you, yeah? So that you have prepared before the class or review the previous class. And then the assignment is mainly problem solving. Now, I will put Fibonacci rate for the quizzes and assignment. For example, the first assignment is easy, so I'll put you weight 1. Okay? The second one is weight 1 again. 1 plus 1 is 2, right? So the third one is weight 2. Okay? And then say you have four assignment. The next assignment is weight 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay? If we have another assignment, then the next one is 2 plus 3 is 5. So the weight is 5. And then become 8. So you will see that the later assignment, the weight is much, much bigger. You got it? So if you don't submit the first one, that's fine. But if you don't want, if you did not submit the last one, you are in trouble. Okay, so for the recitation, so in Google Classroom, I already put the recitation. So you just put the comment. So anything that you question within this class, okay, every week we meet, everything that you answer, everything that you give comments or suggestion, you can claim. Okay, you claim it on your own. It's on honesty system, and then you put the how much you claim. A maximum 5 points per week, and at the end of the semester, I will accumulate all these points. Anyway, actually, you don't accumulate this point, and then we will normalize. Okay, I will just do the normalization. For example, one of you very active in class. Okay, say accumulate 120 points, and one of you is quite active but not that active. Is accumulate only 70. So your grade is 70 divided by 120 for the recitation. It is just 5% assignment. But this is, I'm telling you, this is the one that really matter because it will change. For example, if you are actually B plus, okay, because of your recitation, you could become A. Okay. You got it. Especially when you are in the critical points, you know, this is really matter. Even it's only 5%. Okay, how to claim? So in Google spreadsheet, so you claim what is your question, suggestion, discussion that you did it during the class. Okay, and then important is you put the claim, the accumulated point on top, so that I will not read everything. Okay. So make a habit to claim right after the class so that you will not forget also. Okay. What is the project? This is nice. The project is you will do a debate, okay, in English. What? Okay, you will do a debate in English. So let me check how many. Oh, two students per group. Okay, so you prepare. So we will discuss. I will give you a controversial topic, and then you prepare the debate. Okay, and you analyze the debate after. So you analyze yourself and you analyze your opponent. Anyway, all the debate will be in Zoom, so we will record. You can analyze after. Okay, the project is 2, not 1, 2. Okay, so yeah, 50-50, or let us see the percentage later. The second one is the news or paper. You can download any scientific paper and then you analyze. Yeah? What do you analyze? You check whether there is a fact or opinion. Okay, you check the concept, you check the hidden assumption. We will discuss all about this along the way within this class so that you will know how to do it. Okay, and then you check, is there any possible fallacies? You know, with this, you develop critical thinking, isn't it? Right? And then you check if whether it is accuracy or precision, and then you will create what is called argument diagram. So there is a technique to do that. And of course, you will put it into a formal logic. Yeah. Okay. So you will put that into a formal logic, proportional, propositional, or predicate logic. Okay, symbolic in the mathematical form. Until here, is there any question? Kenneth?
For the debate, it's 2 person per group.
Yes,
Yes.
one group against the others. Okay.
But it has, but in this class it has
6.
7.
No, Hans is out.
7 people.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, yeah, okay. 7. So one of you will become 3 per group. That's fine. So we will have 3 groups. So I will name it A, B, C. Okay, so the debate will be A versus B, A versus C, B versus C.
So the project for debate, it has 2 topics per group.
The topic in the debate will be decided later. Something that's very controversial, of course. So in the debate, okay, even if you, for example, usually in the debate, usually you will have pro and contra, right? So if you are in the pro, okay, so you create an argument about that. You are pro that argument. If you are in the contra, so you create an argument that contra with the argument. Even though your heart is not on it, okay? You understand what I mean? It's just a debate, okay? It's not really about what you believe in. You got it or not? It's just a sake of argument, okay? Doesn't mean that you believe that. You understand what I mean? Right? So even if you actually your heart said, I'm against it, but because randomly assigned that you are pro, then you pro for it, then you create an argument, pro for it. You research about it, right? It doesn't matter. Okay? That is how you will become professional, you know. Not because you like it, but because you are able to do it. Correct? Okay. So news or paper analysis, you can find your own news. You can find your own paper that you want to analyze and then show me. And then if I agree, then you can set several news or several alternatives. I can select among things that you propose. Okay. And yeah, all this analysis will be discussed within the class. So anyway, so you will surely know how to do. What else? No question, or is there any other question? If you have doubt, don't worry. Okay, you just ask. So if you forget during the class, you can ask me anytime using the phone or using the WhatsApp or email. Okay? No problem. So yeah, the first debate. So the debate is 2 times. Okay, so there's a first debate. Say in the first debate you win. Okay, then there's a revenge. The second debate, you may win again or you may lose. Right? So there are 2 chances. Okay. In the news analysis, it's just a report. So, but you have one final presentation 1 week before the exam. So you have a two final report, okay? One is for the debate, the other one is for the news analysis. Is that clear? For the project, you have two reports, okay? So in the debate, you record, right? And then you analyze, okay? The same analysis that you do as the news analysis, the same technique. Okay. What is their argument? So then you find the weakness of the argument, isn't it? Oh, you can become lawyer after this. Okay. Okay, the milestone forming the group is today. So after forming the group, please don't change. Okay, and then after that, probably next week or next week, let's discuss about the debate topic on ideas. Okay, and you tell me about the news or the paper topic of idea. After that, we set up the first debate, the second debate. Okay. And then the analysis of the presentation. Okay. And then, of course, you submitted the final reports, two final reports. Clear? So I hope with this design, first is oral, right? The debate is practically oral majority. So, and then there is also a time to settle down, to consolidate, to analyze. Okay. So with this kind of design, probably you will be able to do more. Okay. Especially in the second debate, you will refer. Last time you said like that, then you can attack the inconsistency of your opponent, you know. Right? You got it or not? So, important note, okay? So, all project report assignment cannot go beyond the final exam date, okay? No late submission will be accepted after that. So, if you have a late submission, okay, of course, automatically F. No? So, if you miss some of the deadline, say the assignment is supposed to be next week or tomorrow, you miss it, fine, no problem. But deduction 1% per day. Okay, so you're supposed to get 100, suddenly become 99. Okay, if you miss it 2 days, become 98. Like that. Okay, if you miss one whole semester, yeah, you don't need to submit anymore. It's the same thing. It's almost zero. Right. So if you submit, okay, just submit only, you get 80, minimum 80. Oh, very, very good grade, huh? I give you very good grade. So if you submit only, whether it's right or wrong, minimum 80. Okay, if right, of course, you get 100. Okay, if you are wrong, very wrong, you get 80. Nice. Okay, but if you don't submit, you get 0. So make sure that you really, I'm appreciating your diligence more than your effort, more than the actual result. That's the meaning of this. You got it or not? Now, after the final exam, give me 2 or 3 days to calculate all the grading, okay? Then I will post in Google Classroom an Excel file, okay? In that Excel file will be all the computation, okay? So not the grading in Google's Classroom, but the one in Excel file is the one that matters. Then you can protest, okay? I give you 2 days to protest. If you don't protest anything, if you agree with that, then I will submit to the department. After I submit to the department, you cannot change that. Even if you cry, I will not change, you know. Okay? So I give you chance. So to be fair, right? I give you chance to change within the certain period of time so that I will not have any problem. So you can talk. If I make a mistake, you tell me. I will change that. Okay? So if you did not submit, for example, you submitted during that time, I will still give you grade. Okay, of course, the lower with the minus now, but you still can get a grade. You got it? Okay. Practically, if you don't ignore the class, you are survived, no problem. But if you ignore the class, then it's your own fault, isn't it? So I cannot do anything about it. Okay, so good. This is a common practice. So no eating, no drinking, no smoking, no cell phone, no cheating, no plagiarism. If you cite on something, okay, if you copy and paste from someone, so just cite it, put the reference of it. Don't claim it as your own. Just be honest. That's it. Okay. If you cite somebody and then you did not tell that this is from someone, that is cheating. That is plagiarism. Okay. It's a very big sin in science. Okay. Honesty is the most important. Got it or not? Okay. So the course syllabus done. Are you okay with it? Is there any question, any protest? Tell me. No, you agree with it. Okay, this is our agreement, okay? Thank you. Okay, let's go to the real material of the class, okay? Let's finish. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, you want to go to toilet, so 3 minutes. You can go first. I will stop first for 3 minutes. I will stop the recording. Okay. I will share my screen. Introduction to logic. Here it is. Okay. So this material also in Google Classroom, so you can access, you can download. Right. Did you download it? Okay, let's see. So this is like the whole semester. I put a summary into this slide. Okay. So I said in this lesson, you will be introduced to general idea, what you will study in this semester. Okay. So basically, this is like the summary of the whole semester. Okay. And by the end of this lesson, so you should know what is logic, why do we need logic, right? Distinguish formal and informal logic, what is argument, what is deductive, inductive argument, compound statement, and then creating a truth table. And then you need to know the connection between logic, Euler algebra, and set theory. Okay. Oh. Can you read this? Anyone? Okay, one paragraph, one person telling. Can you read for me? Matthew, you read the first part, the first paragraph.
Among the inhabitants of Mars were various kinds of creatures. One type was friendly to visitors from Earth and always told the truth.
Okay.
Another was hostile and always lied to Earthlings, but the astronaut couldn't tell the difference between them.
Okay. Kenneth, continue.
Are you truth teller? Astronaut John Armstrong asked a sleep Martian he met on the way to the tip. He'll say yes, commented a spotted Martian who was nearby, but he will be lying.
Okay. Okay, Felicia, read the next one.
Who was the truth teller, the strip Martian or the spot one?
Okay, so can you solve that? Okay, this is like the exam question. Come on. It's logic.
the spotted.
Why?
Because if the spotted Martian is lying, he will say no. Because if he's lying, he will say that the strip Martian will say no. And the second one is if he's lying, yes, the statement is correct, but the first one is no.
Okay. So do you agree with Kenneth?
The spotted one is telling the truth.
Okay, so I give you the clue, okay? So this is just a clue. Whether he was telling the truth or liar, the strip Martian will answer the same. So do you agree with Kenneth, or you have your own opinion? So tell me. Or you don't know anything? Come on. I'm still waiting. Come on. You open your microphone. I cannot hear you. Yeah. Kenneth said the spotted one, and he is correct. Right? So what's the argument? Why? Okay. So truth teller or not, the strip Martian will answer yes. Why? If he is okay, he were the truth teller, obviously he will tell the truth and say yes. Right? If he were a liar, he would lie and say yes. So it's the same answer. Right? Therefore, since the spotted Martian said the strip Martian would say yes, he must be the truth teller and the strip Martian must be the liar, isn't it? You get it? Right. So this is an example, okay, of puzzle that actually very logical puzzle.
I want to ask something.
Oh, please.
Isn't the liar supposed to say he will say no because he's lying?
So who is the liar in this case?
If the spotted one is the liar, he will say the other one will say no. Shouldn't it? Because if he said yes, he is telling the truth.
But the strip Martian will always say yes. Right. The strip Martian will always say yes. So then you start to check, okay, which one is the one that telling the truth. Okay. So I have the next puzzle. So I'll not discuss, but you can read by yourself first. Okay. This is a little bit to solve this you need some time. Okay. But so okay, I will read it. So Kim Jones, John Robinson, and Pat Smith are the officer of the spaceship in Mars. Okay. And they serve as a craft pilot, engineer, and biochemist. So not necessarily in that order. Okay. So 3 persons, okay, Kim Jones, John Robinson, and Pat Smith are the astronauts. Okay. They are either pilot, engineer, or biochemist. Which one, we don't know. Okay. Next, because of they have a difficulty with Martian name, so they nicknamed the 3 Martian who work with them, also the same name, okay? Jones, Smith, and Robinson. So remember, the first with the full name, Kim Jones, John Robinson, and Pat Smith are the spaceship crew. Okay, the Martian is just named it as Jones, Smith, and Robinson. Is it clear? Next. So these are the problems. Okay. So Robinson is a Yomi. Yomi is the name of the Martian. Jones does not speak any language other than Martian. Okay. Most Martian linguists are Uti. The Martian who serve as interpreter respect the Martian whose name is the same as the biochemist. A Martian whose name is the same as biochemist is Grundy. And John Robinson, the name of the spaceship crew, is the engineer at chess. So the question is, who is the pilot? Right, so then the clue is, you create this kind of table, yes, no table, okay? So it's a classical puzzle, not really actually difficult, but after you do it, so notice that astronaut is not the Martian, okay? They have the first name. So you set up this, and then you can be able to solve it. I think the answer is John Robinson. And for the reasoning, you try to read it and how we end up with the finally the pilot. Okay. So next week, after you read this, okay, next week you will tell me if you understand it or not. That puzzle, the second puzzle. Yeah, the first puzzle is easy, but the second puzzle needs sometimes to read and to check papers. Okay, as your practice. Okay, okay. Let's go to the actual class. So I'll introduce you with the formal and informal logic. Okay. Okay, let's discuss first before that. In your opinion, why we need to study logic? Okay, Kenneth. Just opinion, it's not a fact, so it's okay. Right?
Because there are logic everywhere.
There are logic everywhere. Are you sure?
Validity.
Right? Matip, say something.
Validity.
Validity, okay. Jocelyn, you want to say something?
Logic is the basic of everything.
You see? But there are a lot of people in Indonesia actually very illogical, isn't it? In their opinion.
Yeah, that's why we need logic.
Right. So that's why I need to study logic so that at least.
Because opinion is inconsistent.
So I hope by studying logic you can start to point out, okay, with a certain critical thinking that at least you know if you read some news, if you read some watch some movies and so on, so you start to realize something. That's what I hope. Okay, why we study logic? To make you smarter. In a short, I hope logical thinking process will make people smarter. Why? Because as who is that, the skeptic a while ago? Yeah. You don't easily believe without proof. Okay, your attitude should be skeptical. Okay, so I encourage you to think. Okay, I encourage you to find the underlying assumption, to question the hypothesis, okay? And sometimes to develop the alternative. If someone says something, okay, you don't just accept it as it is, okay? You question that. After that, you develop an alternative, okay? And then you test that hypothesis against the known fact, okay? Now, by studying logic, okay, you will have a skill for decision, decision making, to solve problems, to generate ideas, to set a goal, okay, which is very clear, very necessary skill for your career in the future, isn't it? So logic is the foundation skill for mathematics and computer programming. So that's why you study logic. Okay, so I hope by knowing why you study logic, you know it will make you smarter anyway. Okay, okay. What is reasoning? Again, I want to know your opinion first before going through. What is reasoning? Billy, you want to say something?
Reasoning is the thing on your mind when you want to accept something like news or information from others. So you have to have a reasoning about you want to accept it or not.
Okay, Tamara.
Like, okay.
It's like the process where you show your evidence and how it supports your judgment.
Yeah, your argument. Okay. Yeah. Alicia, you want to say something?
I think like we want to know how something happened, and we want to know the reason, and we want to get the argument, but must checking the fact first.
So reasoning is practically the ability to reason about the problem, okay, about the world in general. So it's important to see what you believe. Okay? Why should you believe that the argument is true? Okay, so it's important to question, to be a critical thinker, right? Why somebody said that, and is it true, real, or not? And then you question that. Okay. Anyway, what is logic? Again, I want to know your opinion, not the fact. Anthony. Opinion is okay.
With my opinion, logic is discuss people with smart people from smart people or not people, not smart people.
Okay. Matthew?
In my opinion, logic is like serangkaian. I don't know what's that in English.
Okay.
Serangkaian of something that's happening, and there's in computer, and like we need to figure out every single one. I don't know how to say it.
Okay. Anyway, so logic is actually the study of argument. Okay. So logic is the study of the correct reasoning. Okay. Historically, logic was done several centuries before Christ. Okay. So Aristotle is the father of logic. He is the one who created many logical arguments and all the rules, and not all, probably 15 rules of logic was developed in Aristotle, maybe 200 years before Christ. But Aristotle is the person who created academy, what is called now university. Okay, Aristotle is also the advisor or the teacher of Alexander the Great of Greek. Okay, so logical thinking is the process in which once you will use reasoning consistently to come to some kind of conclusion. And this is very interesting because apparently there are certain structure. Okay? There are certain structure that relate between the fact, and if you do that structure of reasoning, or chain of reasoning, it will create something that makes sense. Okay. So inference, when we said inference, okay, inference are the steps in reasoning. Okay, we will move from premises, we will define what is premises later, to a logical consequence or conclusion. Okay, so to think logically is actually to think in steps. Okay, I give you an example of what is the meaning of step. Say, if you want to understand addition, okay, in mathematics, you must understand numbers, right? So if you want to understand, say, multiplication, right, then of course you need to understand addition. So that's the step, right? So first you need to understand numbers, and then you understand addition. After that, you understand multiplication. To understand division, you must understand multiplication first. Correct? Right? So there is a step in learning. Okay? So after you do addition, you do multiplication. After that, you do division. To understand fraction, for example, of course, you need to understand division. The same thing. If you want to understand simple equation in algebra, of course, you need to understand fraction. Otherwise, you will not understand at all. Okay. Now, if you want to solve a word problem, say even in elementary school, it really depends on how you set up and manipulate the equations, and so on. So these are the steps. Okay. Next things is about fallacy. Okay. The word fallacy means there is a incorrect inference. Okay. So if an argument is false, it's also called fallacy. Right. So in this class, you will study fallacy, a lot of fallacies. Do I need to memorize? No, you don't need to memorize. During the exam, everything is open, so you can always open the slide. Okay? But you understand it first. Then if you memorize, then it is faster to answer. Okay? If not, at least you know where to find it. Okay. And what is formal logic? Formal logic means you construct that reasoning, okay, into a mathematical form. Apparently, there are ways in a mathematics that you can put that argument into symbols. Okay, so this is what is called formal logic. Formal logic is the study of argument in terms of the form. Okay, there is a form that is pattern that you can know and use. So this is what is called formal logic. So the argument form will abstract the pattern reasoning and then will share among many different arguments. Say you are a lawyer, you will have different argument. You are a doctor, you will have different argument. But we can abstract all of these different fields into the same pattern, which is in the mathematics called formal logic. So that's why logic is like the foundation of all science, including social science. Okay. So when we said formal logic, okay, so that's the other name is called symbolic logic. Okay, sometimes we call it propositional calculus because we need to create a proposition. Or sometimes we call it algebra of proposition because actually we manipulate the proposition. Yeah, so this is real mathematics. The word formal here is emphasized. Okay, why? Because the word formal here is not legal formal, but it's come from the word form. In Indonesia, bentuk. Yeah. the form, the syntax, the grammar of the symbolic is more important here than the content itself. Okay. What's the meaning of it is not important. What is the form is important. In the formal logic, that is the way to do. Okay. Then, okay. What is informal logic before that? Come back to formal logic. So, informal logic is the study of argument, the same thing, but in natural language. And the emphasis is not the form. The emphasis is the meaning, the context. Okay, so the informal logic is another branch of logic, which task is to develop non-formal standard criteria. Yeah, the procedure, the analysis, the interpretation, the evaluation, the critique of the argument of everyday life. So in this course, we will study both formal and informal logic, especially informal logic in the beginning before the midterm exam, okay, and formal logic after the midterm exam. Yeah. Or whichever our course is going. Okay. The timing is not exact. Now, in the formal logic, you will divide into two. Okay. The formal logic have two ways. One is called propositional logic. Yeah. So, in this case, there is reasoning from the natural language into formal logic. So you create a form, and we use symbol. Okay. So the most important symbol in here is arrow. That's been implies or if then. And another symbol that is important is double arrow. So this is meaning is equivalent. So in the language of logic or in the mathematics, we always say this as if and only if. When you hear the word if and only if, that means equivalent. Arrow is two, both sides. But if you hear the word if, then that means only one side. Remember, huh? Okay. Now, the second type of logic is called predicate logic. Why? In the second type of logic, you will have quantifier. Okay. There are two types of quantifier. One is called all. So the symbol is like A, but reverse. Okay. The second quantifier is existential. There exists. When you hear the word there exists. Okay. So the symbol is like E, but reverse. Okay. So this is just introduction. So it's a summary. Of course, when we go to the course, you will see more and more detail about this. Okay, this is just introduction of the name. Okay, so let's practice. Okay, tell me. Okay, I have an argument here. So if you work hard, you will be successful. So this is the original argument. The statement one. If you are successful, then you are work hard. You have worked hard. Statement two. If you don't work hard, you won't be successful. Statement three. If you are not successful, then you did not work hard. So the question is this. Which of the above three statements are the logical deduction based on the original statement above? So why? Okay. Come on. Billy, you want to say something? Unmute it.
Statement one.
Statement one is what? Or wrong?
If you are successful, then you are work hard.
If you are successful, then you work hard. Is that exactly the same deduction as the original?
Because if you work hard, you can be successful.
No. In fact, the statement one is wrong. It's illogical. What? Then you start to ask, what? Right? Okay, that's good. That's good. No problem. If you're surprised, that's good. Okay, because you need to understand what is the meaning of if then. Remember, I told you if then is one way, not two way. Okay. The original statement. If you work hard, okay. If you work hard, you will be successful. So in the statement 1 is saying, if you are successful, then you are work hard. That is not correct because you implies, okay, one directional become two directional. You got it now. Why statement 1 is wrong?
So it's statement 2.
Statement 2 is also wrong.
Oh.
Statement 3.
In fact, the statement 3 is the one that is correct. Okay. Surprise, right? Okay, I will show you. So the answer is statement 3. Okay, statement 1 and 2 are incorrect. Okay, so you might be skillful, intelligent, and lucky as opposed to hardworking. So the first statement, the second statement is actually incorrect. Okay, so by studying logic, then you start to realize something, isn't it? Okay, the original statement does not imply the other reason why you might not have been successful. Okay, let's do it in the formal logic, then you start to realize something. Here it is, okay? Let's say you work hard is P. You will be successful is Q. Okay, so the original statement is if P, then Q. Right? Let's see the statement 1. What is statement 1? It's statement 1 saying that if you are successful, then you work hard. What is that? In statement 1 is mean if Q, then P. That is false. Okay, how you will say it's false? Okay, look at this, the truth table below. Can you see it? The truth table below. Okay, so P can be either true or false, correct? Q can be either true or false. So now I create a combination, okay, between P and Q. So P is true, F is false, right? So P is true, Q is true. P is true, Q is false, right? And then P is false, Q is true, and P is false, Q is false. So we have all combination. It's exhaustive, meaning this is all, no others, correct? Because we have only 2. Okay. Now I put not P, so I'm just reversing that, and not Q. Okay. And then this is the P. Okay. If P, then Q. So this is the truth table. Okay. So if you look at this, you will see that if Q, then P is actually not there. Okay. The same thing with the statement 2. Okay. Statement 2 telling that if not P, then not Q. Then again, this is false. This is not the deduction come from the original statement. But the statement 3 is actually true. You see, if you look at the column here of if P, then Q, and the column of if not Q, then not P, that they are exactly the same. Can you see it or not? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The column 5 and column 7, can you check? They are exactly the same. Column 5 and column 7, exactly the same. So that means statement 3 is actually the same as the original statement. So by doing the formal logic, then you start to realize something. Okay, which one is correct, which one is not correct? Okay, tell me first before I go the next part. So, do you understand what when I said if then is one direction, not two direction? You understand? If today is raining, then I will stay inside the house. I will not play outside, right? So, what is P and Q? So P, if P, then Q. So P in this case is today is raining. Q is I stay inside the house, will not play outside. Right? So can I reverse it? So I play inside the house, and then can I say that if I play inside the house, not play outside, that means today is raining? Not necessarily, right? Okay. So if Q happen, does not mean P is implied. You understand? So when we said if P then Q, does not mean that if Q then P is wrong. Not the other way around. So unless you put it if and only if, then it's equivalent. That means both sides. Jocelyn, you want to say something?
No.
Do you understand it or not?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Kenneth, you want to say something?
I want to ask about the if P then Q, the row 2, why is it false and the row 3 is true?
If P, then Q. So I gave you an example a while ago. If raining, okay, P is if raining, Q is I will play inside the house. The Q is I play inside the house. I will not play outside. So now the Q is I play inside the house. Does it imply that today is raining? Not necessarily. Correct? So that means if you reverse it, it's not necessarily correct. This is the source. This is the very important. This is the source of many fallacies, actually. Okay? People did not know the meaning of if then. Then they will say, then if. Okay? This is the source of many problems in logic. You know, if then is one way, not two ways. Okay. Let's do later on we will discuss more detail about how you compute it. Okay, we will use Excel to compute this. Okay, there is no worry about this. At this point, this is just an introduction. Today is just an introduction. Okay, probably also the next meeting still introduction. So you don't need to worry if you don't understand so much. That's okay. Okay, over time we will practice, then you will start to understand better. Is that okay? So the next one is argument. What is argument? Argument is a sequence of reasoning statement. Okay, each argument consists of premises and conclusion. Okay, what is premises? Premises is something to provide evidence or proof. Okay, and then the conclusion is the judgment, the decision reached by the reasoning above. Okay, so then the argument occurs only when one intends to a set of premises to support or to prove the conclusion. Okay, so Okay, I'll give you an example in mathematics first. The first premise here saying that all positive integers are the sum of 4 integers squared. So this is the formula. This is called Lagrange 4 square. Okay. Second premise says that 23 is a positive integer. Okay. The conclusion said that therefore 23 is the sum of the 4 integers squared. So this is the example. So 23 is 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square plus 3 square. So repetition is allowed. So look at other numbers here. Okay, 3, 31, 310. So they are always the sum of 4 integers squared. Okay. In fact, this is actually a theorem. So this is already proved by Lagrange. Okay. So this is a social science example rather than mathematics. So all humans are mortal, meaning people can die. And Cardy is human, therefore Cardy is mortal. So P1 is the premise 1. Okay, all humans are mortal. Okay, P2 is the premise 2. Cardy is human. Okay. C is the conclusion. Okay. In this case, Cardy is mortal. So this is the. If you look at this, there is a form, right? So look at the form. All X. Okay, in the predicate logic, all X, human X, okay, if it is a human, then mortal. If it is a human, any human X, then that X must be mortal. Okay. Then the second argument, or the second premises, okay, we'll say human Cardy. Okay. Then the conclusion is mortal Cardy. Of course, X in here is Cardy. Until here, you have a question. This is what you will learn in predicate logic later. So you can see there is a form that we can actually formalize this. Okay. Okay, tell me your opinion. Tell me your what did you learn? What did you don't learn? Tell me, come on. Sleepy because it's afternoon, nap time. So if you look at the things is, okay, both examples, okay, always have the same pattern, okay. The math example and the social science examples, they all have the same pattern, okay. The pattern is P1 is all X are Y, and then P2, P is X, therefore P is Y. Right? So if you look at that, oh, there is a form, that is a pattern that we can use, regardless the field of study. Okay, whether it's social science, whether it's mathematics, whether it is any argument, including in the law, they will use the same pattern. So when we study logic, we study this pattern. Okay. Okay. So argument can have two possibilities. One is deductive and inductive. Okay. So argument is basically a collection of statements intended to support or claim of the conclusion. So there are two things, possibility. One is deductive and inductive. What is deductive? Deductive means the conclusion is followed from the premise. Okay. What is inductive? Inductive means the conclusion followed from the premise, but with certain probability, not necessarily all. So if there is some kind of probability, then it becomes inductive. Okay. And when it is deductive, then you can determine the strength. Yeah? So you will say it's valid or invalid. Okay. But if it is inductive, you cannot say that they are valid or not. You just say this is strong or weak. Okay. Now, if it is valid, okay, valid argument, meaning that they are following the form, right? But not necessarily correct also. So there are two possibilities between valid argument. One is called sound, which is sound is valid, all the premises are true. The other one is unsound. It's valid but unsound. Valid in terms of the form, but unsound in terms of the context. Okay. Now, if the argument is the form is invalid, surely it's unsound. So the form comes first. Okay. So if the form correct, it's not necessarily correct. So it still have sound or unsound. Unsound means the form is correct, but the argument is not really correct. Okay. Then if it is strong, you have the same thing. Cogent or uncogent, that means strong and all the premises are true. Okay. If it is weak, then clearly uncogent. So again, this is just introduction of basic terminology that you will learn, you will study along this class within the semester. Yeah. So it's kind of summary. Okay, let's come back to the what is called deductive argument. So in deductive argument is an argument whose conclusion follow necessarily from the basic premises. So if it is valid, deductive argument is the one whose conclusion cannot be false while the premise are true. So look at the truth table of if then. Look at the truth table of if then. Look at this. If P is true and Q is true, then P implies Q is also true. Now, if P is true and Q is false, then P implies Q is false. So these two are the basic principle of deductive argument. How about the next two? If P is false, okay, if P is false, regardless the Q, whether true or false, the result of implication is always true. We don't use this. This is unsound. You got it or not? This is unsound argument. Why? Because if the premise is false, okay, then it's always true anyway. You got it? So, in fact, the last part, okay, if the premise is false, is the one that people try to use it into fallacies. Okay, by reversing it and so on. Okay. So if you want to create a valid argument, you don't use the second part that where the premise is false. The premise always must be always true. You got it? Okay, I give you an example here. Okay, so in the premise one, no mortal can halt the passage of time. P2 is the premise 2. You are a mortal. Okay, then the conclusion is you cannot halt the passage of time. This is an example of deductive argument where the premises are true. Therefore, this is called sound deductive argument. Okay, let's make another example. Okay, so if there is a nuclear war, Okay? It will destroy our civilization. Now, suppose P2 is there will be a nuclear war. Then the conclusion is that the civilization will be destroyed by the nuclear war. So look at this. P2, okay, the premise 2, there will be a nuclear war, is still not sure yet. It's not happening now, right? However, okay, the conclusion would not be false. Why? Because the two premises were true. So what is this? This is valid but unsound. Can you see the difference? Okay. So the argument is valid but unsound because there will be a nuclear war. We are not having it yet, right? So it's true but unsound. So now let's take another example that is invalid. Okay, in P1, some pigs have wings. Clearly false, right? Did you ever see a pig have wings? Okay, so then P2, all winged things sings, is also false. Okay, so conclusion is some pig sings. Okay, so this is an example of deductive argument where the premises are false. Okay, therefore it's invalid. When the premises are false, disregard everything in the conclusion. Got it or not? So surely it's invalid. So you know from the form, okay, from the premises. So, okay, before inductive, is there any question about this deductive argument? Is it clear or not clear? You tell me. Is it too fast? Is it difficult? Give me feedback, come on.
Yes, it's difficult, sir.
It is. Okay. Which part is difficult, Felicia? Which part?
All part is
sure.
difficult, I think.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, don't worry about it. Okay. So this is like the beginning. So again, we will repeat several times, then you will master it. Okay. Please read again the slide after this. Then try to understand. Okay. Okay. My question to you about this terminology. The argument have a deductive or inductive. Can you understand this or not? No. Okay. When I said premises, do you understand it or not? Yes. Okay. What is premises then?
Evidence. Proof.
No. In deductive argument, we have this kind of form. Okay. We have a first premise, second premise, and conclusion. Can you see that? The form. This is clear, right? In the form is clear. So then if you look at the second argument here, this is all, this is without all. So you see X are Y, B is X, therefore B is Y. So this is the form. Okay. So P is the premises. So if you look at the form here, okay, now T1, T2 are the if part. C is the then part. Can you see that or not? So P1, P2 in the argument is the if part. So if then, so P1, P2 is the if part. C, the conclusion here is the then part. Okay, so then I'm telling in here, okay, if you create this, if you have a truth table, this is the truth table of if then. So if P, then Q. Yeah. So if P, then Q. If P is true and Q is true, of course, if then is true. Right? If P is true and F, the conclusion is false, okay, then the argument, if P then Q, is false. Right? If the premise is true, the conclusion is false, then the whole argument is false. That's the meaning of this truth table. Now, what happened is, in the last part, if P is false, okay, can you see the bottom two rows there? If P is false, okay, then regardless the conclusion, whether it's true or false, okay, the argument is always true. The if P then Q is always true. That part we don't use because that is clearly not correct. So that's why we are telling, if you want to create an argument, okay, the premises must be true. No premises is false. Okay, so then how I will say if the premises is P, right? If the premise is true, okay, and the conclusion, the Q is the conclusion, yeah. So if the conclusion is false, okay, then the argument is false. If the premises are true and the conclusion is true, then the argument, if P then Q, is actually true. You got it. So if the premises is false, we don't use that. That's clearly invalid. Okay.
Mr. Kardi,
Yes, please.
can I ask something?
Yes, of
Why
course.
the bottom is P is false, is false have a true.
You want to check? You want to in Excel?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's open.
Because the statement P is true, that it is false.
This is logic. So this is
True and true have a true, but false and false.
It is true that P is false.
So let's say P here, okay? And this is Q. And this is P, then Q. Right? Can you see my Excel or not? No? I will share my Excel. Can you see that? Oh, okay. You open your Excel, you start to make it on your own so that you will see. Okay, so this is true, right? True, false, false. Oh, okay, and then what? This is true, false, yeah, true, false. Yeah, and I will say if P, then Q. Otherwise, true. how you get the result. Okay. Anyway, you can check Wikipedia, you can check anyway. So it's always the same. This is, I'm not creating, this is already 2 centuries before Christ. Okay. So practically we just memorize this. Right. This is logic. So the meaning of if then. Okay. The meaning of if then. Sometimes I don't know, you did not learn this in high school? If then. You suppose, right? Right. So the meaning of if then is, look at the truth table, okay? So if the premises, so this is, I call it premises. And this is the conclusion. So actually this is called antecedents and implication. So you can see this is the truth table. Okay. Can you make like this in Excel on your own? Anyway, I'll stop sharing this time. So I'll post this video of our conversation in YouTube. Okay. And I put link of that, yeah, probably tomorrow. Okay. So in Google Classroom, then you can start to look again and then you practice. Okay. So, and then if you listen again, then you start to probably you start to understand something. If not, you tell me, no problem. Okay. If it is too fast, yes, this is too fast because I know this is like the summary of one whole semester, right? That's why it's overwhelming. That's okay. Okay. Later on, I will make it slow after this. Okay. After this slide phase. Is that okay? Good. So see you next week then. Your time is up.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You.
Yes.